Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Will He Edit? This is the review show that sees whether or not my dog is going to eat the food I put down in front of him. Pochi has been walked. He was outside actually in the back, not much walking today because it's been raining a lot. Not quite sure if he's going to check out this food or be into it because he hasn't really had a whole lot of exercise. Granted, my dog's very old and he doesn't get a whole lot of exercise anyway. All that, and we're going to be reading Defenders number 131, which I find to be a very, very funny issue. It is one that I read a zillion times when I was a kid growing up, and I always find a lot of humor in it. It's written by dematteis, and before he went on to do Justice League, he was working on this. And of course, he works on a lot of other books. Another book that he worked on a while ago was one called Green Lantern Will-World, which had really special artwork by a guy named Seth Fisher. dematteis often can be a little wordy, but this book is perfect. It's got just the right amount, and it tells a very funny story featuring the Beast, the Iceman, and the Angel. And maybe you can hear Pochi tapping around out there, but he is totally ready to eat. So we're going to head on out in the kitchen and see if he'll do just that. So give me a second and we'll get on out there. All right, everybody, we're back in the kitchen. I've got Pochi's old dish. He's been eating his kibble pretty good. Got a clean dish right here. And we're going to go with the Whole Earth Farms kibble. And the food that we're going to feed him today is called Under the Sun Grain Free with salmon and shrimp. So, Pochi's outside. He has probably done something out there that I'm going to have to deal with tomorrow. Going to get him in here, and then we're going to see if he'll eat this, and we're going to read Defenders. So, hold on one moment, please. Alright, everybody, we're back, and as you can see, Pochi's drinking some water. Sorry about his backside. He just doesn't seem to care in his old age. Call him Stan Lee, why don't we? While he continues to drink, we're going to talk about New Defenders number 131, which came out in 1984. The plot was by J.M. dematteis, with a script written by Peter B. Gillis, who will soon be the next writer of the book, with art by Alan Kupperberg. So, we start this issue in the basement below Brooklyn University, where Uncle Hubert is experimenting on his nephew for the umpteenth time. They've been doing this for over 10 years. Some quick tests of strength after the experiment show success, and nephew Hubert has to go into his room to think, where he says to himself, God, he's tried them all. Captain Stoat, Squirrel Man, the masked tapir, the Crimson Turkey. Geez, we're down to the W's. What fearsome beast could he have given me the proportional strength of that begins with a W? And it is there that nephew Hubert realizes his answer is in one of the greatest albums of all time. But we'll worry about that later. Come on, Pochi, that's all for you, man. You like that? He's sniffing around. That's the first part of everything. Alright. Meanwhile, elsewhere on campus, the Beast frets over a lecture he has to give with his buddies Iceman and Angel in tow. So here we see Beast is like totally thinking that they deserted him, and they're like, dude, just settle down. We had to go get something to drink. So the jokes keep coming as we find out Beast is wearing a subgenius button. That's pretty cool. This guy shows up to him and says, "Oh, and Beast, nice Church of the Subgenius button. Give him slack." Also, a woman wants to know if Warren and Bobby are superheroes, where Warren says, "No, I'm Mr. McCoy's booking agent." And Bobby says, "And I'm Lance, his boyfriend." And she's like totally taken aback. And Beast is like, "Why did you say that?" Which is pretty hilarious. Here's Beast all just like throwing up in the bathroom, being all upset about what's to come. Meanwhile, the fabulous Frogman is going to the lecture in hopes that he can audition with the new Defenders to be a part of the team. He tells us in the thought balloons here that he's borrowed his dad's costume and that he's going to attend the lecture. So, let's see here. So, now the lecture is underway. And the Beast is doing well. And here you can see him juggling. He's going out in the crowd. He's even doing hand puppets that make Magneto. When he starts to answer questions. And here we see this guy wants to know if he's wearing a toupee. And the Beast is talking with him. And as he's doing this, Eugene Patilio causes a distraction, allowing a quick change. And here's this woman. "Jeff, I think the guy next to me is taking off his clothes or something." And here he says, "While the crowd is distracted, I make the lightning change." And then he leaps into action. The fabulous Frogman then declares his intentions. What's up, Poach? You don't like that? Oh, he's like totally spitting up. What is wrong with you, buddy? You drank so much water earlier. You're not going to eat any of that food? It smells good. It's salmon and shrimp. I'm going to dump this out so that he maybe has a better chance at it. So, hold on one second while I do that. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. What's this? Try that. You want to try some of that? Alright, let's see if he does that. Sometimes he doesn't like eating out of his bowl. Alright, so here we have the ladies of the group. And Candy Southern, who's Angel's girlfriend, and the Gargoyle are all lounging by the pool as Moondragon is laying her claws into Cloud, who in the future is going to have some pretty rocky moments. Well, now he's eating out of the dish. What are you doing, Pochi? Let's do this then. He is not always the best subject. Yeah, so as later issues come, Cloud is going to have a revelation, and it is that she sometimes feels more like a he. And even further, this is explored as Bobby has a problem with this. And sure sounds like self-loathing if you ask me. Alright, now let's get in the action. As we see just who or what Hubert has settled on for a name. As he busts out of a quickie burger. Cuckoo Cachoo. Here he is. He's the walrus. He starts tearing shit up, causing his uncle to exclaim, "You kill the beast, and we'll be on Donahue within a week." Because Oprah wasn't a thing yet. Oprah 2020. Alright, now let's see. In the auditorium, the Defenders are trying to explain to Frogman and the crowd why he can't be in the group. when they are saved by mass destruction as the walrus comes breaking through the wall. And upon seeing 4 foes, not just beasts, the walrus has to ask his uncle what he should do. And his uncle says, "Destroy them all. It's the Carson show for us for sure." The defenders then attack to no avail. It is then that the walrus feels woozy. Maybe it was all those quickie burgers he ate. And the frogman finally leaps into action. The last hope. But as the Omicron rays are wearing off Walrus, he falls unconscious. And the defenders are now awake to see the frogman standing victorious, with no choice as far as they can see but to ask him to join. So you have all these people in the crowd, and they're like, "Yeah, what about it, fellow defenders? The jerk did okay. As a matter of fact, better than you. Give him a break. 3 cheers for the frogman." Excellent. When they are saved by the original frogman, who wants his son in costume home, you can see him dragging him away. The angel is like, we still like idiots in front of all these people. We've got to think of something. And it is then that Angel explains that that this was a demonstration to prevent, so that, it's to continue so that they don't look like idiots. When the dean shows up to take away the lecturing fees and to blacklist Beast so that he never has a job like that again. And it says here, Iceman says, "Forget it, Hank. Either way you lose." And then here's Warren. He's all, "I'll cover the bills, Hank." He's all, "It's not that. It's just a walrus." And Iceman's, "I'll try not to think about it." And Angel's like, "Yeah, look on the bright side. He could have had the proportionate strength of an aardvark." And that's the last issue of J.M. dematteis on the New Defenders. One that I always look back on fondly because I find it so funny. It's got references that are pretty dated now. Like, who knows who Phil Donahue is? And Johnny Carson. And I don't know, the Beatles even. But yeah, this was totally one of my favorite Defenders I read growing up. Looks like Pochi's actually eating the food now that he's had his little, I don't know, his little spit up. Now that I moved the dish away from where I wanted him to eat it. But here he is eating. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy watching Pochi try and eat food, and whether or not he will, please don't forget to subscribe, maybe like the video, and definitely hit the notifications because you want to know when I have something else coming up. Oh, look, there he is. Now he's going to eat off the mat. Oh, yeah, Pochi. And then he just stands over it. Oh, what a mess this dog is. Like, I totally found food under his paw yesterday. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you again real soon. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. And definitely what you think of Pochi's ass. And we'll see you next time.